Welcome to Car-Free Chronicles. I have officially been riding the Tern GSD e-cargo bike as my main form of transportation for an entire year now. So I figured it was about time I made a video answering two questions. One, why did I choose this e-cargo bike? There's a lot of options out there. Why this particular one? And two, after a year of riding it, would I choose it again? I should also mention that the ultimate goal of today's ride is a haul challenge. We're gonna see if we can buy a tree. That might be too big. I genuinely don't know if it's gonna work. Huge thank you to Tern for sponsoring this video, and full disclosure, I bought this bike of my own free will at full retail price 6 months before I even started a YouTube channel, just like the rest of anybody. The most logical place to start is, why did I choose this bike in the first place? And the answer to that question is simple. My buddy Ryan told me to get it. Everybody should have a bike guru friend, and Ryan is mine. He's 2 for 2 on bike recommendations that I love. I figured the most honest way I could approach this review was to go straight to the source. Ryan, why did you get this bike when you got it?
The truck started smelling weird when I drove it, and I took it to the shop expecting them to say, here's this little thing, now it's fixed. And instead they said, you could rebuild this truck if you're really nostalgic about it, otherwise it's going to burst into flames in the not so distant future. And then I sold it to CarMax, and they paid way too much for it, which was awesome. I took that money and I said, let's get a cargo bike, an e-cargo bike. The GSD has a lot going for it, for what we wanted out of an e-bike.
There are a few things that I knew I wanted, and the first one was that I wanted to be able to put another adult human on the bike.
That was pretty big, like carrying 2 adults like this.
I knew I wanted a lot of cargo capacity. This is gonna be a car replacement. I can already put bags on my normal bicycle, so I needed this to be definitively more cargo space.
Carrying lots of stuff without it being really huge to park.
The flip side of that coin, I wanted it to be compact. Being able to combine a bike with public transit really unlocks a lot of the city, and some of the larger options are too big to fit on the bike spaces on Metro.
It doesn't feel awkward when you ride it around. It just handles like a really solid normal bike.
I will say I was really strongly considering the Urban Arrow. I still think that those bikes are awesome. I have ridden them. But if you're not a confident bike rider, the steering being way out in front of you can be a little funky, and it's a little unwieldy to get used to. As I really started looking at it, the GSD checked all the boxes. 400-pound capacity, easily can carry my wife and me around town on dates, to go to coffee. It's got so much cargo capacity, and as I've mentioned in other videos, even riding it fully loaded up with cargo, it feels a lot like just riding a normal bicycle. All things considered, it has been pretty awesome so far. My biggest hesitation was cost. I bought this bike from a local bike shop here in Pasadena for right around $6,000 out the door. Then I added on accessories, I bought the second battery. All in, we're probably $7,500 into this bike, which is not cheap.
Admittedly, none of this is the most expensive or the most cheap, but it's all super nice.
But I do think with bikes, similar to cars, you get what you pay for.
It's just really smartly spec'd.
Some cheaper options that I've ridden skimp on the brakes a little bit. They skimp on the shifting components to save some money. Over the course of a year, I have had 0 issues with the bike. I took it into the shop once after about 500 miles just to make sure everything was good. Oh, that's a cool skate. This is a cool park. Distracting myself from my own narration, but sometimes you just gotta take in what's actually in front of you, not what you planned. And we're gonna do a little Dilly Dally through this park. See, it's little things like that. In a car, probably wouldn't have even noticed that that park was there. On a bike, it's no problem to just cruise in and check it out real fast. What was I talking about? I think if all you're looking for is an e-bike to help you with commuting, you don't need the increased cargo capacity, there's definitely cheaper options for you to check out. But if you really are looking for the bike that can function as a car replacement, this one really does start to check all the boxes. Welcome to Griffith Park. We're right about 20 miles into this ride, having a lovely time so far. And we are one climb away from the first stop on our tree planting mission. You know, it's not going to be the first time that I've hauled this tree on this bike. Some of the craziest things that I've hauled so far. This year I picked up our Christmas tree. I've been trying to get all of our garden supplies this year on the cargo bike. The sketchiest thing is probably picking up a bunch of wood to build some raised beds and trellises. It's working. That was a little spooky, but it worked. Picked up 14 tomato plants, brought them back home. I brought that old TV to the e-waste recycling. I've done a bunch of groceries and random errands. Run to Target, the grocery store, farmer's market, all that kind of stuff, no problem. It's not as easy as just tossing stuff in your trunk, obviously. But I've come to really enjoy the puzzle of it. We are arriving at the compost and mulch station. If it wasn't for YouTube, I could fill this entire second side, carry even more mulch, but gotta carry tripod and camera equipment. It's worth it for you guys. I'm leading this next part in here so you can see what happens when you put all of the load on one side of the bike. You can't ever tell me I don't keep it real. Forgot that all the weight was on that side of the bike. That's pretty funny. All right, step one completed. My idea is to put the tree on the front rack. We're gonna see how that works. I don't really have too many other options at this point, given that I just filled up all the rest of the storage capacity with mulch. This is what it's all about, it's adventure. I just added probably 75 pounds of mulch to the bike. I'm blasting down this hill. Brakes are still so solid. There's something I didn't appreciate when I was getting the bike was the brakes, and they're very confidence inspiring when you've got a lot of weight and you're going downhill. Still so much stopping power. Something I didn't expect getting this bike was just how fun it was gonna be. I really thought it wouldn't be long before it just felt like any other kind of transportation, but after a full year, I'm still like pretty excited to ride it every single time. It's just fun. It's just a fun time. I'll say the one thing I haven't really figured out yet is riding in the rain. I've done it a couple times and it's fine, but it's not awesome. If I lived in a place where I was having to deal with rain more, I think I would invest in some of the rain accessories, but come on, it's Southern California. It doesn't rain here. And when it does, I'm just so excited that it's raining that I don't really care about whether I get wet in it or not. Since we're talking accessories, we're gonna rapid fire through some of the most useful accessories. Number one, the captain's chair. This is far and away the most comfortable way to have an adult passenger with you on the bike. If you've been with this channel from the beginning, you know how my first big ride on this bike went. Just hit 0 miles left. I'm cooked. This is the end for me. Investing in the second battery changed everything. The only time that I've run out of battery since then is when I just forgot to charge the bike. So keep it charged up. Cargo panniers are super helpful. Right now I have the larger 52-liter size. When I have a passenger, it kind of gets in the way of the feet, so I swap over to the smaller size when people are sitting back there. I think a good solid phone mount is pretty essential. If you're carrying passengers around a lot, the wider sideboards for your feet are super helpful. And a pretty new accessory to me is the front rack. I used it to bring a cooler of beer to a bike race. That was pretty cool. And so far it's nice to just toss a backpack there, something really quick and easy. You don't have to deal with the latching and unlatching of the panniers. But I'm still discovering what the front rack can do. I'm hoping that it can help us transport a tree. All right, we're making a big loop back up into Highland Park right now. And we're gonna stop in at Figure Supply and buy ourselves a tree. Now that I'm looking at trees, these are gonna be pretty big. Okay, unfortunate news for our video and our garden. Figure Supply is all out of avocado trees. So, we're gonna backtrack a little bit. We're gonna see if Home Depot has any. They're not exactly my first choice of gardening store, but a tree is a tree. feel like they should be next to the closer. Avocado, avocado. Am I even a Californian if I don't have a avocado tree? What are these? These kind of look like avocados. They are. Okay, now we gotta make sure this is a good variety that is self-pollinating. Avocado tree pollination is insane, you guys. That's so wild. Probably want a type A. So ideally you get both a type A and a type B. But I can't justify getting 2 avocado trees right now. Garden Tube is gonna find me, tell me all about what I'm doing wrong. All right, let's see if we can get this tree on a bike. Boom. Okay, so I don't think that's going anywhere. What were we worried about? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Great success. Adios. See you on the other side. I thought it was just gonna be like more in my field of view, but it's not. We're fine. It's pretty fun. Hey, buddy. Do I dare let the comment section of YouTube name our avocado tree? For what it's worth, I haven't named our other trees, but something, I feel like we're bonding right now. Something about this journey makes me feel a little more attached to this tree. Heading down into the arroyo. All right, we're almost back home. Clocking in right around 40 miles. Even hauling all this mulch, picking up this avocado tree, conquering the mountains of Griffith Park. We still have over half of the battery left. 2 batteries for the win. A year in on the Tern GSD and it feels like brand new still. As for the second question, after a year, would I get this bike again? The short answer is yes. It's been a really solid bike and has made car-free life possible. The longer answer is there are a ton of cool bikes out there. Front basket bikes, folding bikes, faster e-bikes with throttles, and I'd love to try them all. But if you have to pick one, the Tern GSD has proven to be a solid all-around pick. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining this adventure of mine. And if you want more car-free adventures like this, you know what to do.